On Thanksgiving, the New Orleans Saints beat the Atlanta Falcons 26-18. The Falcons made a late push. The Saints won. It was kind of a blowout until the end. But here's what stands out to me in this Saints victory. It's not a typical thing I would normally talk about. It's the Saints' third-string quarterback, Taysom Hill. Oh my gosh, I love it. How often do I get a chance to talk about a third-string quarterback, man? It's so cool. Listen to this. He had 2 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. He also had two catches for 12 yards and another touchdown. He also threw a pass. That one was incomplete. Okay. Not to mention the guy blocked a punt. He played special teams. The dude, Taysom Hill, lines up everywhere. I love the way that the Saints use Taysom Hill. Probably one of their, if not the best athlete, he's definitely one of the best athletes on their team. He plays receiver, quarterback, special teams, whatever's needed, he shows up. And I can't help but think this, and that's that Taysom Hill is exactly what Tim Tebow could have been in the NFL. I don't know that exactly is the right word. I think that that's a stretch. Taysom Hill's a better athlete than Tim Tebow, but Tim Tebow could have been similar to Taysom Hill if he'd just done one thing. Here's the deal. A third-string quarterback does not normally make a roster spot in the NFL. The Saints have 3 quarterbacks. They have Drew Brees, they have Teddy Bridgewater, and then, of course, number 3 is Taysom Hill. And it's rare for an NFL team to have a third quarterback because they don't do a lot. They don't want to have you on your roster if you're just going to hold the clipboard. Some people do it. The Denver Broncos do. They have Drew Lock, but they placed him on injured reserve for a lot of the time because if you have 3 quarterbacks taking up 3 roster spots and only one of them is playing, that's a really kind of a big deficiency in your roster. And so the Saints said, man, if you're going to take up a roster spot, Taysom Hill, you got to contribute. You cannot just hold the clipboard. And Taysom Hill did the one thing Tim Tebow would never do. He said, yes, coach. Whatever you need, I'll do it. Tim Tebow let his ego get in the way. He wanted to be a more traditional quarterback. I'm going to back up. I'm going to be a normal quarterback. I'm not going to line up at receiver. I'm not going to play special teams. I'm not this, I'm not that. And I know, look, there's exceptions. I think he did at some point play an up back on a punt. But the point is you got to credit not only the creativity and the vision of the New Orleans Saints for the way they used Taysom Hill to get the full potential out of him, but you also have to recognize, man, credit Taysom Hill for his willingness to say, yes, coach, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll go catch passes. I'll go play special teams. I'll go make tackles. I will do whatever it takes to help our team win football games. Now, that's also why he's employed. Don't act like it's just a gesture of goodwill. Taysom Hill gets paid to do what he does. There's a reason for that. But, man, some quarterbacks let their ego get in the way. Taysom Hill has not done that. You got to give Taysom Hill credit. He's done whatever it takes to help his football team. I want to end this by sharing his statistics. I'm not a big stats guy, but I think the stats here are interesting because of the variation you'll hear when you listen to what Taysom Hill has done. I couldn't track down his tackles. It's hard to, he's a quarterback, right? It's really hard to find how many tackles a quarterback has. No matter how many stats you track, it doesn't happen. But this year, he's run the ball 16 times for 127 yards and a touchdown. He's also caught 13 passes. As a quarterback, he's caught 13 passes for 114 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's thrown 3 passes. 2 of them were complete. He's got 35 yards passing this year. He's got a kick return for 12 yards. He's blocked a punt. Man, it's wild. Taysom Hill plays all over the field, and they use his athleticism, and it's just interesting to me. That's exactly what Tim Tebow could have been if Tim Tebow had been more willing to branch out. And if, there's also, this is another huge factor in the Tim Tebow thing, is that Tim Tebow had a huge circus, and having him as your backup quarterback when people are chanting for, we want Tebow. It's like, no, our starter's way better. We can't put Tim Tebow in. The circus also cost Tim Tebow. But man, Taysom Hill is a cool story. You just got to credit him. Not only the Saints, their creativity and their vision, but Taysom Hill's willingness to do whatever it takes to help his football team. That's cool to me.